thank you for joining. The real reason you're not signing clients. So, we're going to cover a few things tonight. It's not your offer, it's not your niche, it's not the market, right? So, we will be touching on what it's not and or what you think it might be. You'll learn where your next clients are hiding, the fear that's keeping you from them, and the simple system that turns them into clients. Okay, if you do have any questions, hold them until the end. There's going to be a live Q&A session right at the end. So please stay on mute for the time being. So let's look at what it's not. Okay, so this is what I call a misdiagnosis. This it's not what you think. So three things that are not the problem. Okay, your offer, your niche, and the market. So you've probably got a perfect offer, but you're showing it to no one. Showing it to no one still sells nothing. Okay, so it's not your offer. It's not your niche. Now, I see a lot of people switching niches before they've even given it a chance. And switching just resets that clock. You start back from the beginning, stick to your qualities and find the right people. Okay? So it's not your niche. And also, it's not your market. You're not the only one that does what you do. You might have a unique way of doing it, but someone in your market signed a client this week. That's a fact. So it is not the market. So in the chat, which is it for you? Be honest. Is it your offer? Is it your niche? Is it your market? Or is it something else? Because I've done this before. I've blamed my offer. I've changed my offer loads of times. I've blamed my niche. I've blamed the market. What are you currently blaming for not signing clients? Is it your offer, your niche, or is it the market? Okay, next slide. So what happens? What happens next? You stay busy. You're blaming the wrong thing and you reach more of everything, right? So you post more content. You might turn to ads because it feels busy. You might mess with your funnels. You might change to automation. You might look at the next AI tool. There is so much information out there. Information is not the problem, right? I'm not saying those are the enemy, right? Let's be really clear on this. I'm not saying that those are the enemy. Content ads, funnels, automation, AI, of course, they all have a place in what you're trying to achieve. But what I'm saying is that reaching for those instead of something simple is okay. Get the basics right first. And this is what this workshop is all about, getting the basics right, getting you to understand what has to come first. This is a process, it's a system. And one other thing here as well, a packed calendar, it feels like progress. But at this point, you need quality, not quantity. You need a lasered approach, a laser targeted approach to quality. Okay. So busy is just the most comfortable place to hide. Feeling busy doesn't pay bills. Okay. Because how many times have you reached the end of a week or a busy day and you think, oh, that was productive? But was it? Was it productive or was it just busy? How many offers did you make? How many clients did you close? Because that is the thing that pays the bills. That is the thing that moves the needle, right? Being busy doesn't mean to say you're being productive. So what is the biggest trap? So I'll touch on this again. Volume doesn't mean quality. Fine tune the gold mine that you have first, and I'll touch on that in a second. Cold leads take months of warming before they buy, right? So I'm not saying don't do it. I'm saying get your system and your ducks in a row. right? It's a process. The system has to be in place because currently I'm not a betting man, but I bet currently time is your biggest enemy, right? So let's just look at next the gold mine that you forgot you had. Okay. I just want that to sink a second, right? Time is currently your biggest enemy. If that is you, listen close. So the forgotten gold mine is the people that you've lost touch with. So they're not strangers and they're not even people that you talk to every week. Okay. It's the people in between. So researchers call this the dormant tie. So people that you were once close to, but you've lost touch since. So reconnect and you get the trust of an old friend with fresh new opportunities. Let's look at this in monetary terms. Okay. If you've got 400 contacts and one client is worth $5,000, let's say, right? That is a potential of £2 million in your existing contacts list. Now, of course, you're not going to close all 400 contacts. If you do, let's chat. But listen, if we do the maths here, right, that's potential. Of course it is. But if we do the maths here, and if you've got 400 old existing contacts in your network, and let's just touch on that a second. Network. What is a network? LinkedIn, Facebook, all social media platforms. But let's take that one step further. It's email, it's face to face, it's WhatsApp, it's all mechanisms in this digital age that we are now. That is a network. Okay. So don't just focus on LinkedIn because it's comfortable, or LinkedIn because you know how to use it, or Facebook because you've got most of your people on there. Think, zoom out on your business and on you and what you're up to, and just have a look at who you're connected to. Because my question and my proposal to you here is if you've got 400 old contacts, could you convert two of them every month with your current offer? Just drop me a yes or a no. Can you convert two of them every month? Let's say if they're a 5K client, a 2K client, a 10K client, associate it to your niche, your industry. Give me a yes or you know or a no if you can convert, if you can close two of your existing people. So my guess is also that you have a lot more than 400 contacts. Okay. So I'm just trying to get you to visualize here the art of the possible and what you're currently sitting on. You're sitting on a gold mine of people. Okay. This is real, the fear. Whether you feel it or not, it is the thing that's holding you back. Okay. Part of you fears that they think that you're needy, pushy, or only trying to sell. And a stranger feels safer because a stranger can't reject the real you. That's why people revert to ads. And again, that is not the enemy. Ads work, right? They absolutely do work, but they have a place in a system. Okay? They have a place in a system. I'm not talking about ads. I'm talking about the gold mine that you're sitting on right now. When a stranger says no, you are less likely to be emotionally attached to the outcome. Okay? Because you get more no's from a stranger. And I did a bit of research on this, right? So from 6,000 people, it was tested. And the outcome of that was that we always underestimate how glad they are to actually hear from us. So your warm network, your existing connections that you might have lost touch with, is your gold mine. So give me one word in the chat. What is stopping you from messaging someone that you've lost touch with? What is stopping you from doing that? Give me the answers in the chat. Okay, the cost of inaction. So it's not in offers, okay, in clients that you've never signed and money that walked away. So warm leads are 8.5 times more likely to convert over cold ones. 92% trust someone they know, over 33% trusting an advert. And you are 2 times faster to close a warm lead over a cold lead. So imagine all the conversations and all the touch points that you need for a cold lead. Halve it with your warm audience. Time is your current enemy, so why wouldn't you? So these figures tell us that cold is 8 times harder and twice as slow. And right now, you're probably choosing it. In the chat, I just wanted to put some stats, right, individually. What's one client worth to you? Let's put a real number on what's sitting in your gold mine right now. So if you've got several offers, I want you to pick your best one, your most profitable, maybe your most simple to deliver, your quickest. Take an average if you need to. We all know how to do that. I don't want to hear, oh, it varies. Take an average. We all know what an average is. Take an average of what one client is worth to you, whether it's a one-off or whether it's recurring revenue. What is one client worth to you? And then start thinking about your network. And then ask yourself, see where I'm going with this? That audience, who in that audience might want your services? Have you even asked? One of my favorite Bruce Lee quotes ever is appropriate to this today. Knowing is not enough, we must apply. Willing is not enough, we must do. I'll leave that on screen a second. Knowing is not enough, we must apply. Willing is not enough, we must do. Bruce Lee. What does that mean? So the real killer in your business is that you already know what to do. The internet's full of people who know exactly what to do and still don't get paid. Okay? The gap is never knowing. It's doing it on days that you don't feel like it, right? So people in the room here will probably understand where I'm going with this. This is all about consistency and taking action and doing things when you don't feel like doing it, right? Knowledge isn't the problem anymore because it's accessible, it's everywhere. There's no secrets, there's no hacks, there's no ninja, whatever you want to call them these days. Everything's out there, it's accessible. And it's all a free video away, but this is no longer enough. Knowing is cheap. Doing what moves the needle is the thing. Doing. So in the chat, what's one thing that you know that you should be doing but aren't? And it's all right to call yourself out here. This is accountability, guys. And if you're doing the work, awesome. Keep going. Let's just quickly look at what a working fix looks like, a working system looks like. It's actually less work than you're doing now, but pointed to what actually pays, right? So stop posting and hoping and starting chasing referrals and messing with funnels and tweaking ads and all kinds of busy work like that. That might feel like you're being productive, but is it paying the bills? Start with the people who already know you, especially the ones that you've lost touch with. And my favorite, don't sell, show, right? You're asking for permission, you're not asking for a decision. That's the difference here. Show, and a no is fine, right? A no is fine. I'd rather have a no than a maybe. Maybe doesn't mean anything. That's just someone kicking the can down the road. 20 minutes a day. That's all I'm asking. Know your numbers, know your people, know your offer, time box your activity, and it's not a gamble. 3 steps. Number one, reconnect. Reopen the doors that let you quietly close. Listen, diagnose, and question. Number two is probably the most important because a lot of people, when they listen, they start answering, they start giving away the answers. Now, there's nothing up with that to a degree, but if you keep answering people, why would they need your services? Diagnose, understand, question. And then at the right moment, ask. Make one clear offer. This is what I'm currently up to, guys. This is what I'm currently doing this. Doors open here. This is what it costs. Are you in? Are you a yes, no, or do you have any questions? Right. So reconnect, listen, ask. 20 minutes, 5 people a day, 10 people a day. Okay. That is the basics. Okay. Now let me show you what is possible when these basics are assigned and applied. So Sean in the machine safety industry, he closed a £70,000 deal in 57 days of working with me from his existing network. Matt, he closed a £5,000 deal. He's in the business protection industry. He closed that deal in 13 days. Caroline from the US, she was coaching one to many and she had a full coaching program value of £71,000 closed when applying this process. Okay, different niches, different countries, but all the same method. Every number started as one reconnection with somebody that they already knew, right? So this is nothing to do with cold outreach, nothing to do with paid ads, nothing to do with email marketing or anything like that. This is simple outreach to your existing network using my framework and accountability. Let's just focus on Sean for a second because this is actually linked to my previous workshop that I hosted at the end of April. So just to recap, if you haven't heard Sean's story. So Sean, brilliant at what he does. He had the same quiet pipeline that you've probably got right now. So he didn't have a consistent pipeline of work that he could tap into when things got quiet. And he also hated the idea of selling. So we didn't find him any new leads. We reopened, we tapped into the gold mine that he was sitting on. Made offers to people who already knew him every day. without ads, no cold calling, no new audience. 70,000 in 57 days. And it started with one name that he'd been sitting on for months. Okay, so he didn't get better at selling. He got a system, and that's the bit that I help you with. Okay, so let's have a look at this. Now, you can do this yourself, right? I've just told you how to do it, and I really mean that. Go build it, get a result, come back, tell me, and we'll celebrate together. Or you can do it with me in 30 days. We'll look at your offer, we'll target your list, we'll look at your forgotten network, we'll reopen it. It's in groups of people, so it's me with you guys, and you'll get direct access to me throughout. So you won't have to wait between calls, okay? You get access to me through WhatsApp, and we will have real offers going out inside 30 days. We build it together. So at this point, there's no software, there's no automation. It's laser-like precision. Okay, this is how I start. This is why I want to help you with the basics. Right? Another Bruce Lee quote for you: simplicity is the key to brilliance. And I do the basics well. Because if you do the basics well, habits start forming. Okay, James Clear once said, I think it was in Atomic Habits, habits take an average of 66 days to embed. Right? So if you don't get the basics right, if you don't form those habits, if you don't start time boxing your activity to do this outreach, then how can anything else build on that? It's like building a house on sand, right? You might get some spikes, you might get a nice little house at first, but eventually that's going to crumble. Tonight is phase one, okay? It's a 30-day sprint, and we do exactly what I've just described together, okay? Now, phases two and three follow, but the focus is here. The focus is the sprint. Okay, we reopen your network, we get offers going out, and your pipeline is live. That is it. Once we do that, phases two and three can follow. Okay. Now, I'm going to open up to questions, but before I do that, of course, I want you to see the offer, and I'm going to leave it on screen. I'm going to post the link into the chat. This offer is available until Saturday, the 13th of June, 6 p.m. 497, no more than 10 people, and you're going to be making offers in 30 days. If you're not, you work with me until you do. And remember, this is phase one, guys. So $497, one payment, no more than 10 people. The link's in the comments. Take a look now. If this is something that you need, this is the time to jump in. Okay, I'm going to open up for questions. I'll leave that on screen. And the link is in the chat if you want to jump in and claim your seat. Who has a question?